Yet I will be ripped apart before I choose a side. Yet the shadow of glass beneath my feet, it cuts this godforsaken street. Why can't we make things disappear? Steal the poison from our tears. Oh, crooked crosses bend on the walls. Slow destruction of our childhood homes. High illusions, they're seen no more, no rocky crosses pinned on the walls. Slow destruction of our childhood homes. High illusions, they're seen no more, no
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. Sorry we're late. YouTube wasn't working. Literally wasn't working. Wasn't my fault. It was clicking go live and it just wasn't working, man. So what can we do?
Let's abstain and go to Twitch.
But this is potential solution, you know. I don't know what's going on. Also, I woke up this morning, apparently the internet's broke.
What, in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Did they like unplug it or what?
AWS, Amazon Web Services, is down apparently. So if your like website or servers are hosted on Amazon, you basically have no internet.
Oh wow, goodness me!
Amazon. But luckily for us, YouTube is not on Amazon. You know what I mean? So we're cool there. I'll start off with a nice question for you, just to get the show flowing. Easy, quick, snappy question. Prime Sergio Aguero or this version of Erling Haaland?
Prime Aguero.
Ooh, okay.
What's your answer?
I'm on Aguero, but
crazy.
But I'm very close. I'm very, very close. Like I've always been Aguero, yeah, and like I've actually thought it was not really that close, to be honest with you. But this version of Erling Haaland, yeah. It's getting close, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting close. The chat not happy, man. A lot of chat saying hi. It's a tough one, man. It's good. It's mad, but yeah, he's scoring again for us, bro. And he's just a freak, man. Like I don't know. Something just see. I mean, when I watch Haaland play at the moment, he just seems unstoppable. He literally just seems unstoppable. Like the way he's playing, he's linking up play. Yeah, he's like bringing other players in. So he's winning headers, like he's scoring headers, which people always said like that's his weak part of the game, scoring headers. But now he's doing that as well. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like something's happened to him. I don't know what's happened to him because like how has he just got this good? Like I know he's always been good, yeah, but like this is freaking. This is like the best he's ever been. I don't know what's happened to him, man. Maybe it's the kid. Maybe he's had the kid, and now because he's had the kid, he ain't really thinking about football that much. Now he's just like chill, and he's like de-stressed.
Yeah, it's just all automation, perhaps. Yeah. Last season he struggled and still got like over 30 goals in all competitions, hence struggled in like air quotes there. But yeah, there's no doubt he's definitely, and we saw it as early as the Club World Cup, didn't we? Like where his finishing wasn't actually that good, but he was adding different elements to his game. And you touched on like the heading ability this season. That's definitely been a thing also. And for that first goal against Everton, it was obviously the heading ability, but it was also the decision making of the decision to delay the run. So he would run so that Tarkowski and Keane would both back off to try to defend their goal. And then once Haaland realised he had them, he stopped. And that's how he's able to create all that space, even though there's 4 Everton defenders in the box. Haaland still gets a free header because he runs, but then he stops. So that's just really intelligent centre forward play. And he's always been fantastic at movement and positioning, but that's also seemingly gone up a level also. And that's really good to see. Maybe that's to do with like, you just understand more of the relationship with your teammates. You can figure out where the ball's going to go, perhaps. But yeah, either way, he's on for a ridiculous goal scoring season yet again. Long may it continue into what, an 11 in the Premier League? Is that right? Which is
11 in the Premier League,
obscene.
14 in all competitions, and then he got 1 against Finland for Norway. That's 15. And then he got 3, 16, 17, 18, 5, 23. He's on 20. Yeah, 23 he's on. 23. 23 on my rapid maths there. He's on 23 quick maths.
That's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah, he has the potential to eclipse his debut season with City, not just from like a goal scoring perspective, just from like an overall play POV as well. Like he's always been this pure goal scorer, but got so many other traits going on as well. It's a bit insane, and he's 25. 25. Yeah, dumb. That is dumb. That's insane. So there's a world where he actually just gets even better. He hasn't even technically hit his physical peak yet, which is an absolute madness. And from the centre, he's only really been getting supply from Foden, which has been lovely. But when we throw in Shirky into that as well, there is another world where it can go up another level still, which is obscene to think about.
It was funny you said that, because I was literally just about to mention the fact that like this is all without Cherky, who is going to be one of the most creative players on the team, and might even eclipse Foden in terms of like creativity.
You will.
And you know, obviously we've not seen it because he got injured, but he played against Spurs, and he wasn't amazing, but the team was shit that day. He still put that cross in for him off the right hand side, and that was. You know what it is with Cherky, yeah? Like, I ran that cross, right? And obviously, the reason I always bring this cross up, because we're not really seeing that much of him. So it's the only thing I can really speak about. But it was just like a standard position. It was just on the right-hand side. And it was like, he just managed to put the ball, like, exactly where Haaland needed it. And Haaland should have scored, if we're being honest with you. So this is all without Cherky as well, man. And I think Cherky's fired up. Did you see him yesterday when he was coming off the bench? And sorry, Saturday when he was coming off the bench, and he had I'm not sure if he thought, like, I don't know if he knew, like, if he was coming on, like, because there was 2 players coming on for City, Rico and someone else, and then he was behind, and he still had his jacket on, and it seemed to me, like, I was watching it, that he didn't know whether he was coming on or not, and he was like, yo, what's going on here? Like, am I coming on? And then he just went, fuck it, took his fucking finger off, shut it on the floor. He's like, I'm fucking coming on. Yeah. So yeah, now I'm really looking forward to seeing Cherky, man. Not just from that creative point of view, you know what I mean, like, and linking up with Haaland and that, which I do think we need. And we'll come on to that. But just from, I said it last night with Tariq, but just from like an enjoyment point of view, man. Like he's out of everybody on the pitch, man. He's probably the one player that I'd like pay serious money to go like see play football. Like that's the type of footballer he is. But we need his creativity, because for me, bro, like, I think we've been playing it all right, but I still think there are times in the game where, like, we don't look like great creativity-wise, and I think he can be that added sort of spark. Now, how you fit him in the team is probably going to be off the right-hand side, in my opinion, yeah. But, I think we're ready for Cherky now. I think the team's ready for Cherky. And you know what's funny as well? I told people early on in the season, I know we're still early on, but like when the season first started and people was like, get him in the team. I remember saying to people, I was saying, chill. You don't need to rush him in the team. Yeah, take our time. And now I'm at the point now, I'm like, right, I'm ready for him now. I think the team's ready for him. Whereas early on in the season, people was like trying to rush him in the team. I was like, to the Spurs game, you should never have started the Spurs game, man. But like for me, now we are now ready. The team's more balanced. The team's more defensively solid. I feel like we've got a bit of a better structure about our play. I feel like we kind of know like what we're going to get from the City team. And I feel like this team now is ready for Ryan Cherky to come into the side on that right wing, because no one's really taking that right wing spot at the moment. Bob's had the opportunity, not really taking it. Savio's had a couple of games, not really taking it. I think, but Bernardo's never going to take it because he's not really about that life anymore. I think we're now ready for Cherky, man.
100%. Yeah, we've established that core seemingly. We've got the goalkeeper, we've got the 2 centre backs. The midfield's been basically the same. Of course, a striker. The left side's had to be Doku because Marmoush has been out, and as you said, that right side is definitely 100% up for grabs. If we're sticking with the 4-3-3, it would make the most sense for Cherki to definitely start off that right side. You can still give him access to the central areas from there. That's not a problem at all. There's no doubt that it's not just a Haaland one as well. So I think that I really think that Foden's goal scoring is going to go up a level when Cherki gets into the side as well. Because if you think about it, certainly from the centre, Foden's been our main source of creativity, which is lovely. But for him, it has reduced his goal scoring because he can't necessarily pass to himself. You know what I mean? Whereas with Cherki in the side, in the more central area, he can now supply Foden as he did against Al Hilal, for example. So I would also predict Foden's goal scoring, which has been relative. He's scored 2 goals so far this season. We know that he can do a lot more than that. He's not getting into his main goal scoring positions because he's taking on a different role and a different burden. He's becoming more of a sometimes like a deep line playmaker, just like an overall connector, less so a goal scoring threat. And he can still be that player, but it's going to be even easier for him to add that to these other elements to the game when Cherki comes on. Now Cherki can also help create for him. So it'll obviously benefit Haaland and it will benefit everyone else. But I think Foden might be the main beneficiary of Cherki being introduced to the side because now the onus isn't just on him to create from that centre. And we've always seen it, haven't we? This was like when people in the summer were suggesting that it can only be one or the other. I just totally disagreed with that as an argument, because if you look at every single Guardiola side, there have always been two, whether they're 2 10s or 2 more advanced midfielders, whatever you want to call them, there's always been 2 in every single one of those Guardiola iterations, whether it's David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, or David Silva and Gundogan, or Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan, or De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva when he was that sort of player, or if it was De Bruyne and Foden. There are always 2 of these sorts of players that are able to offer offensive, creative value from the centre. And in 2025, I think that's going to be Foden and Cherki, and I'm very excited to see how they're going to play together. It's up to Pep to figure it out. I'm sure he will. I know Foden played well in that second half. When Cherki came on, you can just tell they all just love playing with him, and they clearly operate on the same wavelength. Foden and Cherki, they're always looking out for each other. Again, this idea of Foden's jealous of Cherki or Cherki's trying to outplay Foden. These are ballers that will love to play with each other. There's a really weird false narrative that was going on there. Their link up's going to be fantastic, I'm so sure.
Nah, I completely agree. And it's funny because when I was on with Tarek last night, I was speaking about Foden, and I was saying that for me, Foden at the moment is sort of he's under a bit of pressure to deliver.
Oh, I think that Amazon has taken over YouTube's internet proxy servers.
What the hell's going on?
We're back. We're back.
Oh, my internet went off.
Yeah, sorry. You're back.
Yeah, so Foden is under pressure to deliver for me because Savio's not really delivering. Doku's sort of in and out. Yeah, Randers is sort of still finding his way, and it's very much feels like a Foden intense. Need Foden to deliver, and if Foden doesn't deliver, no creativity, nothing really coming through the middle. Whereas when Cherki comes in, I just feel like Foden's going to be able to relax it because he's going to be able to right. Let me play my football. I've also got Cherki who can link up with. And as you say, I think you're spot on. I think Foden and Cherki are going to love playing with each other. These are 2 techie ballers, 2 street footballers, if you like, that are going to be loving playing with each other. So I think now we're at that period now, where it's time for Cherki. And I think it's going to be great stuff. I mean, what you do at right back is a debate because, of course, you'd imagine that Cherki will come in off the right-hand side. So, you could play Nunes to push forward, but Nunes hasn't really been doing that anyway recently. Nunes has been going inside. Or do you just play Huzanov and just say, fuck it, we're not really going to have that sort of touchline winger on the right. We're just going to invert and not really have an overlapper. Maybe you play Doku on the left, but then you got to play him on the wing to stretch the play, and I don't really like Doku there. So it's not like perfect. So no, we're not perfectly solved the situation, but I think that's the way to go. And I think Haaland with Turkey in the team is just going to cook. Foden's going to cook. I don't know, man. I feel like we're close, man. I feel like we're really close to being mint. Like I really do. I'm looking at the team and I'm thinking, I see us building something here. Yeah, I'm watching us getting better. I still don't think like we're amazing, but I feel like we're playing all right. And I feel like one or two more tweaks to this team. Yeah. And I think we can be a really, really good side. Yeah, we're still not seeing Reinders play anywhere near his best yet. Foden's still nowhere near his best. We know what Foden's best is. He's still nowhere near it. Turkey's not in the side. Yeah. I just feel like we're close, man. And I feel like Turkey might be the key to unlock everything. I really do, man.
Yeah, I'm so sure there is I'm not saying we will win the title, but I do believe and have believed since the start of the season that somewhere in there is a title challenging / title winning side. I'm very convinced of that. I'm not one that will run away with the league, absolutely, but I do think that the elements are definitely there. It will involve a lot of things going our way. It will involve Foden hitting his heights. It will involve Rodri getting back into the side. It will involve Haaland continuing to do so. It will involve our new signings being integrated as well, whether that's Kazanov, Marmoush, Shirky, Reinders, Ait Nouri as well. They've all got to get integrated and acclimatized and up to speed at some point. But it definitely can happen. The good thing about Shirky is like, where do you play him? Is that he, even though you don't, and I certainly don't want him to play like as an out-and-out right winger because that's not getting the best out of him. The good news is he can do that. Like he has played as just a pure right winger for Lyon before, so on a relatively frequent basis as well. So there's no reason why he can't do that. It's not optimal, but maybe initially just to ease him into the side, maybe that's like an easy way to do it without worrying about who's the right back and like, do we push Nunes up to provide that overlap to pop him in the center? Maybe you don't need to do that immediately. Maybe you can start him at right wing, just like get him into the side, get him used to his teammates, etc., and then take it from there. There's no doubt that the long-term higher ceiling will be something that gets him into the center. But initially, there's no reason why you can't start him from the right and provide him with some sort of overlap at some point. That doesn't even necessarily have to be the right back. That could be Reinders providing an overlap at some points to give Shirky that central access, and then Shirky and Foden can cause havoc. But with Foden thriving in this deeper role, it just introduces a fantastic possibility to allow Shirky to have that more advanced midfield area of the pitch. It's exciting times, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. Let's have a look at what some of you guys in the chat are saying, man. You're big up to Agent as well. He says, when Turkey plays, it's like City has a focal point, says Agent. I just think when Turkey plays, bro, he just links the play real nice. And I think everyone gets well excited when he gets on the pitch. And I think I do as a fan. And I think the players do. Do you know what I mean? Like I said last night, like football's about winning. Yeah, that's the aim of the game. It's a sport. You're meant to win football matches or win leagues, win trophies, right? But at the same time, like you also want to fucking enjoy what you're watching, man. Yeah, that's why negative managers who play negative brands of football, when they're winning and everything's good. But as soon as they stop winning, all the fans pile on these fucking managers rapid because, playing negative football with a negative brand, if you're winning, cool. Everyone can take it. You win 1-0, win 1-0, 1-0, whatever. As soon as you stop winning, it's grim because you're just watching dead football, right? So you want to be watching a good brand of football. And I can only speak for myself, but when Turkey gets on the pitch, man, I fucking love it. Yeah, I'm smiling. Yeah, my eyes are fucking buzzing. I'm like locked in. I'm like, yo, Turkey, man. Like when he gets the ball, doing a step over, he's got the ball on against Everton. First touch he got, started doing step overs. I'm like, yes, come on, man. You want to enjoy the game. And I think when he does that, I think the players on the pitch love it as well. Yeah.
They clearly trust him as well, don't they?
They closely trust him, man. And this is different. The thing is to Turkey, yes, he's young, but the guy's played nearly 200 matches for Lyon. Play Champions League. This is not some and this is why I always say to you guys, project. Yeah, don't get mistaken between project players and young players. Just because you're young doesn't mean you're a project player. Yeah, Turkey's young, right? But he's not a project. Yeah, okay, he needs development. Yeah, he's not a finished article, but he's not some like proper mad raw player like an Alvarez. Yeah, or a Vitor Hayes type guy. Vitor Hayes played 19 matches for Palmeiras. Yeah, you know what I mean? Which is pretty fair. So fucking baffles my head. How he spent 30 million on a guy who played 19 matches, right? But anyway, that's a different argument. Turkey's played 200 matches for Lyon. Yeah, he's had a couple of games for France now. This is not some mad experienced player. So, yeah, there will be learning curves, obviously, and, he'll make mistakes. Of course he will. But I don't know, man. I just think the guy's just fucking mega. Yeah, but it was just annoying me at the start of the season when people was like trying to rush him and was like, yo, we need to get him in and we need to do this, we need to do that. And I'm like, yo, relax, man. Chill the fuck out. Like, why are you stressed? Yeah, let him just chill. Let him learn the system. Let him get to grips with everything that's going on. Yeah, then give him a couple minutes. Bring him in slowly. Yeah, and now I think it's the right time to bring him in. Big up Karl, who says, we play forward with Cherki on the pitch. Yep, facts. Taurus says, imagine playing Cherki as a 10 and Foden playing as an 8, says Taurus. See what else you guys are saying. Big up Aravind says, Pep knows Haaland can't win games. Haaland alone can't win games. We need our midfielders and wingers to start contributing now. We don't know if Haaland will stay fit. We can't take the risk. We have to improve collectively. But we certainly need our wingers to start scoring goals. Pep said that himself after the game. Cherki needs some starts now before the Liverpool match. I agree. I think now's the time. Yeah. Cherki forward passes, says, Calvin says, looking back, we all wanted Wirtz because he's a perfect cog in the system. But Cherki is an outlier. He'll follow the system, but like KDB, he'll do what he wants to create, says Calvin. CP Crystal Palace will shock. Yeah, I hear it, man. We'll see, man. It's gonna be an interesting game. Big up Tyrone says, even through a bad patch, I've been saying we're gonna win the league season. I don't flip flop like I keep saying it. Last season, we was coming. There was a fall coming after 4 in a row, says Tyrone. And Citizen says, I think Cherki is ready to start. Looking at his physicality, he looks fit and agile enough to play. Have you seen the photo? He definitely looks like he's lost weight, doesn't he? On the pictures, man. Like. I didn't think that he needed to lose weight, but it certainly looks like he has on the picture that City put up on Twitter the other day.
I don't know if he has, to be fair. I don't really have a before and after. I think he's always been like
stored here in my fucking mind, mate.
What,
I got Cherki on my mind. Cherki on my torso. Mind. I got Cherki on my mind.
Yeah, specifically his torso. That's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Listen, mate, it's 2025. Be
good point. I don't judge, to be fair. I don't judge. No, you do. You do. He's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy.
No, but I don't know, man. I'm ready for him. I'm ready for him. Yeah, yo, chill, chat. It's what it is, man. The game. Nah, it's man. It is. It's interesting, man. All right. What else did you see from the game against Everton? It's a bit of a reverse game from the Brentford match, man. First half, not the best. Created a couple of opportunities, but we also let in Everton a couple of times. Everton, I'm quite surprised they didn't even score a goal, to be honest with you. Like, they had a couple of opportunities. Bettel had 2 chances. Ndiaye, good player, by the way. He had a chance saved by Donnarumma. We had a few chances ourselves. But second half, complete domination from Manchester City. I checked the stats after the game, actually. They went from 32% possession in the first half to like 15 or 20% in the second half. They went from an XG in the first half of 0.65 to an XG of 0.15 in the second half. So complete domination from Manchester City in the second half compared to the first.
Yeah.
Still not getting those 90-minute performances, which I kind of want to see soon. You know what I mean? I want to see performances over a full 90 minutes, man. But yeah, what's your sort of overall general assessment on City at the moment? Because we're getting into the thick of it now. You know, we got Villarreal, must-win game. We got Bournemouth, Villa, Liverpool coming up, Newcastle away. Like, we're going to need to start seeing some performances soon, bro.
Yeah, you're right. It was like an anti-Brentford. My chief problem with the Brentford second half was the reason why we lost control was because we struggled in our build-up, and we struggled in our own half to get the ball advanced up the pitch, and that ultimately led to less possession. That led to less passing accuracy. That led to less possession. That led to having to go long more because Brentford pressed a bit more. Blah 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 blah. And it was sort of similar issue you've just touched in there with some data from the Everton game. What I touched on in my analysis video, which you should go watch after this stream, is that if you look at Foden's touches from the first half compared to the second half, he only had 4 touches in his own half of the pitch in the first half, only 4. And then in the second half, he had about 20, I want to say. It was night and day, essentially, between the two touch maps. And if you rewatch that second half, you'll notice how many times like Foden is dropping deep to help City out, and that starts loads of our attacks. Like it helps start the first goal, for example, like Foden dropping really deep, receiving from Ake, and then dropping deep to receive from Nico, and then playing that through ball through to Nico Rao. So I think for me, that was the key difference. That's ultimately what unlocked Everton. And then from that first goal, it was like a 5-minute period where City ultimately won the game. And I'm even going to like throw Bernardo into this as well. I felt that Reinders struggled. I don't think it was a good game from him. But Bernardo came on and he did a very similar situation where he would come on and City just looked so much more assured and accomplished on the ball and were able to easily bring it out from the defence and the goalkeeper up until midfield. So even though I do feel like, Bernardo should be taking more of a backseat role this season, definitely, he still can offer something of value. And I think that both Foden and Bernardo were able to provide that and just calm City down a little bit. And if we're able to succeed in our earlier phases of play, then we're going to get into those final phases a bit more frequently. So that's how I saw it. That was the key difference. And then from that goal, I think like Foden just on a less analytical level, just more generally, he just looked more assured and confident. Excuse me, in his own play. And he was just trying more things like that little switch out to Savio, for example. So I think that was the key catalyst for City playing so much better in the second half. I think it was the usage of Foden from one half to the second, and City overall just looking a lot more assured from there.
Yeah, and that's for me how Bernardo Silva should be used. Yeah, now there will be games where like you might want to start Bernardo Silva, yeah, like maybe big matches or whatever, like whatever you want to say. But I think that's how Bernardo Silva should be used. And yeah, I think we do need to speak. Yeah, Footy, I think you're right, bro. I think we do need to speak about Bernardo because obviously last year, like I don't think he was great. Like, I didn't want to see him on the pitch, man. Every time he was on the pitch, it was not good in my opinion. Backwards passes, negative, just slow, everything about it like was just awful. Yeah, but the same was for all the midfielders. Yeah, basically last year. But he come on and done a job. I actually thought he was pretty good when he come on. Like, you know what I mean? He's getting stuck in. He looked quick. You know what I mean? He looked pretty quick, to be honest with you. Like, which is I've not said that about Bernardo for a while. And he just come on and you said steady the ship. That's what these players are for. You know what I mean? That's what the older players are for. And Pep Guardiola spoke about after the game and spoke about Bernardo, spoke about Kovacic and said, look, these are the older players. Like, we need them to do this sort of stuff. And that's what it's about, man. You can't be having Bernardo Silva running up and down the game for 90 minutes, isn't it? So I think that's he done a good job. But I just think Pep Guardiola got it right, man. I'm going to be honest. I think the decision to start Ake over Gvardiol was a good decision. You're giving Gvardiol some rest ahead of what we're coming into now, a really tricky period of the season. Ake needed minutes. We will need Ake to play, at some point. Maybe Aït-Nouri and O'Reilly get injured at the same time. Maybe Gvardiol gets injured. We're going to need Ake to step in. I'd rather Ake's minutes, match sharpness be up there as well. Thought Nunes, not really spoke a lot about Nunes. Nunes was fantastic in that first half as well. Like, unbelievable performance. He was the best player on the pitch by a country mile in that first half, creating everything. He was the only one that really creating anything. He was great. I thought Bob coming on, good decision from Pep to sub him on after the comment from the Norwegian manager in the week. Thought he looked really sharp. Savio left wing stat again. Yeah, I know you're not going to like that, bro, but here's another stat for Savio on the left wing.
He can play on both wings. I would actually still contend. I felt he had a better game in the first half, to be honest with you. I know that the finishing was poor.
But he doesn't get the goal. That's always been my point on Savio at right wing.
Yeah, and that's reasonable, I think. Yeah, he should have done better in front. And there was like one moment where he shot and should have just passed it. I think that was frustrating, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I just thought it was a really good day at the office. Like, we got the job done. And listen, I'm not saying it's amazing. I would have liked to have seen like a better performance across the 90 minutes, which is what I've been saying, because I think you need those 90-minute performances. But like, bro, I just think that like it was a really solid day. You know what I mean? We did everything. We didn't get any injuries. Nico O'Reilly, by the way, is in training today, chat. I see someone in the chat say it before. Nico O'Reilly is in training, so he's not fit. Obviously, he went down a bit of a scare, but he's fine. And I just think it sets us up nice. We're on 8 matches unbeaten streak. Yeah. And like, bro, we're on an 8-match unbeaten streak. Or like, it's mad, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? And this is what I'm talking about, spiraling. I'm talking about all these runs that you go on, these records that you go on, but like, they spiral, like, before you know it, you're on like a 10-match unbeaten streak. And everyone's like, what? Our City 10 matches unbeaten. Like, everyone's been slagging us off, saying we're crap. And now we're 8 matches unbeaten. Yeah, but we've got to keep it going. momentum. Yeah, Marmoush is coming back. Yeah, that's good. I think we're going to need Marmoush, man. I think he's going to become important for this team because I think, obviously, as we spoke about Haaland and the goals, yeah, if Foden doesn't start chipping in and Reinders doesn't start chipping in and Cherky doesn't chip in, yeah, then I think Marmoush becomes even more important to this side because he will score goals. I just think that, like, I don't know, I just feel like we're in a pretty good position as a club right now, I think. And I think, like, outside of City fans, I feel like we're going quite unnoticed. I feel like everyone's like not really speaking about us, which I kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. We're going under the radar. We're chilling. Like, we're the underdogs, like everyone ruled us out before the season started. So let's just keep ticking over and we'll see. And we'll see what happens when we get into our final form. We'll see what position we are in the table. I think we've said many times, haven't we, that there is a title winning side here. It's just about when things click. And at that point, when it clicks, will first place be out of sight or will they be catchable? So I think it's all going to be down to that, isn't it? And it looks like City are improving gradually week to week. And we still haven't even properly seen Ait Nouri, Cherky, Marmoush this season. Rodri as well, of course, like when he comes back from his injury. On that, I felt Nico had another very good game. I know we haven't really spoken about Nico yet, but I thought he was solid as well, and he's going to have to be solid given Rodri's persistent little injuries. But he was absolutely fantastic as well. Last season, I would have been like devastated with Rodri being out, but now I've got Nico. It's not as much of a burden or a blow. It's still a blow because it's Rodri, but I think Nico has been being a really good deputy in that sense.
He's playing well, man. He's playing well. And I just think he's getting better. He seems to be learning the role better. And, the good thing for him, right, in this situation is because Rodri's injured, he's just playing game.
Yeah.
It's probably better for him that Rodri's injured. It's not better for City that he's injured, yeah. Although you could argue long term it might be better because Nico can get to grips with the position. But because he's playing, he's just learning and he's getting better every game. Whereas if Rodri was fit, Nico G wouldn't be playing. And then he'd be getting 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and he's trying to and he's coming on when the game's dead or whatever, and he's not really learning. Whereas now it's like, it's like you sort of like got no option. You sink or swim type situation. You've got to fucking perform and you need to learn, otherwise, like City will be cooked, and he's doing well. He's doing well. And you know what I like about him? He's really aggressive, isn't he? He's really aggressive on the pitch, man. He loves to get stuck in, which, I'm all for after last season, yeah. After last season, watching Manchester City last year, it was like a non-contact sport. Yeah, that's what I was watching. It's like football non-contact. I mean, he loves to get stuck in, man. So that is certainly positive. I think he's improving in terms of like on the ball as well. And what I mean by that is like moving the ball forward and moving it quicker. Like, which game was it recently? Was it the Brentford game where he was running towards our goalkeeper, someone passed him the ball, and without even looking, he sort of like scooped past the ball that over to the wing. I think it was Bob or someone on the right hand side. It might have been like Nunes. You remember that? And I think that progression, because that's something that Rodri, like, people don't really speak about this about Rodri, but I think that's one of Rodri's best traits in the way that he links the defense to the attacks, to the attackers, the attacking midfielders. He just like gets the ball and he's able to push the ball forward. He pushes it forward to the wingers and he does it really, really well. And I feel like Nico G is starting to do that. In fact, the chance, was it the goal? Which one was it? The one where he played the ball to Foden and Foden played it to the left winger.
This is against Everton.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Against Everton. I can't remember if it was the goal or a chance, but we had a chance in the second half. Yeah, I remember in the watch along saying, make sure you guys are praising Nico G. Is the one where Foden got the ball in a space. Yeah, was it the first goal? Yeah, when Foden got the ball in the space in the centre area, he played it out to the left-hand side. I can't remember what happened then. It was the first goal, yeah.
For the first one, Nico placed it to Foden. Foden placed it to O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. It was Nico G who pushed the ball forward to Foden in the space, and then Foden's away. Foden's got grass to run into, and that's important, man. But he's just tied, I still think he's got a bit to improve on, man. Like, I still feel like sometimes he can look a little bit like, I feel like he attracts pressure on the ball sometimes, and he's not as secure on it maybe as a Rodri is, and sometimes I still feel like sometimes he dives into situations and doesn't get there, and that leaves our midfield a little bit exposed. So he needs to learn when to go in and when not to go in. But again, that'll come with time and coaching and shit. I'm not expecting him to be I'm not expecting him to be the finished article right now. I just don't want you to be dead. I don't want you to be a dead footballer that's going to cost my team games. And he's not. He's performing quite well, and he's only going to get better. Yeah, time will tell. I'm still not on the whole, oh, he'll be the Rodri replacement when Rodri leaves. Yeah, I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. But can he do a job when Rodri's injured? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Can he do it in the big games against Liverpool, Newcastle, Real Madrid? Don't know. We'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like him. I like Nico G. I want him to work. He seems like a nice lad. Yeah, I was watching the interview. Obviously, when he signed for City, I watched the interview. He seems like a nice geezer. Yeah, but I need performances. But we're getting him.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's ever really had a bad game. I think it's always been solid nearly every single time. And what I always say to people who are overly critical of him is you've got to remember that he's playing a position that isn't his. And he's playing a role that isn't his. He's at Porto, certainly, he was far more of a number 8 than a number 6. So I think it's very impressive that he's doing this to this level. He's doing a damn sight better than, no disrespect to Rodri, he's doing a damn sight better than Rodri did in his first full season for City. Also, we've got to remember that Rodri struggled in his first season. I think that Nico's actually been putting in far better performances compared to Rodri's debut for City. I would also say I'm so impressed with his performances that I think that when Rodri comes back, I might be tempted to have a midfield which is, depending on how Reinders is doing at that point, I might be tempted to trial some more midfields that's got Nico over Reinders, to be honest with you, given how they're both playing right now. Like I do think that is fair, because if Rodri comes back into the side and you want him to start basically every single game, whether that's this season or next, whatever, in an ideal world, you want Rodri to be starting like 30 plus Premier League games, don't you? In an ideal world. Mm-hmm. And if you're purely playing Nico at 6, then that means Nico's never going to play. So there have to be some games where Rodri and Nico play together, surely, in which case it turns into a question of, do you play Reinders or do you play Nico, I think.
And again, yeah, not just to keep agreeing with everything said, I spoke about this and I said, I think so. I think Reinders, I think if Reinders is not providing us with like goal scoring abilities or chance creation, I think you'd be better off playing Nico G, because I think Nico G is more solid than Reinders in terms of like more physical, get stuck in more. And I just feel that like if Reinders isn't offering me, and I do think they're about to arrive, yeah. So I'll just caveat this with, I do think Reinders is on the cusp of starting to get some goals and assists and that, yeah. But if he doesn't, if he's not creating chances and he's not scoring goals, then you have to compare that to Nico G and go, okay, well, Reinders isn't giving me goals, he's not creating me chances, and he's not scoring goals. So okay, let's look at like on the ball and defensive work and getting stuck in and that. And then I look at Nico G and think, well, you might be the better option then in that situation. Now, if Reinders is scoring goals and shit, which again, I do think the goals are going to come for Reinders. I think it's a matter of time. But if they don't, yeah, if we're sitting here in another 4 weeks and he's still not scoring, he's still not creating anything, and he's still putting in these 6.5 out of 10 performances, then I do think, and you know what? Even if Reinders does play well, I think you need to experiment with that midfield at some point anyway, yeah, just to see what it's like. Because I think, I always go back to the 4-peat year where basically Foden carried us to the league, yeah, obviously with the help of Rodri, but Foden from an attacking point of view carried us to the league that year, I thought, yeah. And I always say some of the best performances that we saw from Foden that year was when Rodri played with Kovacic, yeah, and we just give Foden the free roll, yeah. So I'm thinking like the Newcastle game at home, Brentford away, yeah, it was Kovacic and Rodri, and Foden was just basically left to do what he wanted, and he was unbelievable. 2 of the best games Foden's ever played for City, I think, yeah. And I think if you play, but obviously right now, you can't really do that with Reinders because Reinders is not Kovacic. Yeah, Reinders is more offensively minded than Kovacic, whereas Kovacic is a little bit more sort of like, I'll be a bit defensive, but a bit more of everything, right? But if you play Nico G, yeah, who's an 8, and obviously he will want to get forward, but I think if you play him next to Rodri, that is such a stacked sort of like physical midfield. I think you can give Foden that complete free roll, and I think he'll start cooking again. So I think I want to see it at some point. I'm not like making it my priority midfield at the moment, But I do want to experiment. But if Reinders doesn't score goals soon or start creating chances, then yeah, I would run it. I would run it and see what it's like.
It's good to have the option.
It's good to
Definitely
have
like bigger
options,
games
man.
as well.
I
Like
know people are
imagine
going to be like, well, what are you going to do? Bench Reinders? Well, funny enough, wasn't fucking Nico G more expensive than Reinders? I'm pretty sure it was. Wasn't or like similar price. It was either the same price or like more money, man. I swear it was like 50 mil for
well, Ryan just can't play every game, to be fair. Like there'll be some games where he has
no,
to have
no.
a rest
But
by
what's
definition as
stressing me out
well.
is like some people that support this club, yeah, that like we can't have any good players on the bench. They just start fucking tripping out, bro. They're like, oh well, what are you gonna do? Put him on the bench? Yeah, put him on the bench. But it's like I don't want to get it, man. I don't understand. I see it all the time. People are like, you can't have him on the bench, you'll leave, or you can't bench him, or you can't bench him. I'm like, you can bench anyone you fucking want, mate. It's a squad game. Yeah, if Reinders isn't performing, you bench him. If Rodri comes back and he's crap, you bench him. Yeah, if Foden loses form and he's crap, you bench him. You bench players, yeah, who's not performing. And for me, yeah, if Reinders needs to be benched, he needs to be benched. If Doku needs to be benched, he needs to be benched. If Savio needs to be benched, he needs to be benched, man. Yeah, we literally watched the club win the treble with all these players on the bench, and then people have just completely forgot it. I just be like, no, we can't have any players. You know what we've been done, yeah? You've been ESPN chat. Not all of you, yeah, but some of you guys in the chat have been ESPN, yeah. That's Steve Nicol, yeah, when he was going on about, where are all these players going to play? Yeah, they've infected you with the ESPN disease.
Damn.
Yeah, this is what happened, man. Pissing me off. LB, he's going to leave if you put him on the bench. I don't fucking care if he's going to leave. Fucking sell him then. He's not got the right mentality if he wants to leave, yeah? Anyway.
Yeah.
Look at these, have a look at these chats, bro.
ESPN, a new verb has been created.
Honestly, man. Yeah, I see it all the time. LB, if you bench him, he'll want to leave in the summer. Who gives a fuck? If he wants to leave, sell him. Anyway, Big Up Cat says, haven't played a single game with all our signings and are above Liverpool. Rewatching the games, I see we just need to gel. We have so many patterns. Yeah, no, facts, bro. Facts, and that'll come with time. And that's what I say. I think at some point it will happen. And I think at some point we are going to be fucking mint, mate. And we're going to start cooking everybody, yeah? But the question is when? When is it going to happen? But, man, facts, man. We're getting better. We're getting better. The only real things that I'm like moaning about at the moment is our fucking wingers not able to score goals. It's pissing me off. Yeah. But apart from that, I'm pretty calm with everything, to be honest with you. Big Up Simmons as well. Says it's just nice watching the game and not being annoyed the whole time. Seems to be a much better buzz around the team this year. Yeah, there is. There's definitely, but the vibes, yeah, it's here, man. Yeah, I said we're entering our vibe era. I said it in the summer. We're entering our vibe era. I think the vibes are very high. I think you look at the players, the buzzing. Yeah, the fan base is like a lot more positive. Obviously, you're still going to get your negative Norreens, you know what I mean? But the fan base is a lot more positive. Yeah, I was buzzing last 10 minutes of the game against Everton. I don't even remember what happened last 10 minutes. Yeah, I had the tunes on. I was chilling with the chat. Everything's just great. Yeah, the players look mint and that. They look happy and that. Everything just looks great, man. Yeah. Last year, it was a depression session.
Oh, yeah, not ideal.
Every fucking week, depression, man. You know what I mean? It was hanging. It was disgusting. Even when we were winning, it was shit. Yeah? Like, you know what I mean? You know it's bad, yeah? That when you win games, you're coming on and it's like, we're crap. Like, this is dead. And that's what was happening last year.
Yeah.
At the first, by the first 3 games, before the bad run started, we were winning matches, but it was awful. We should have been losing the games. I was coming on the streams and I was getting shit off people in the chat saying, you're just being negative. We won the game. Stop moaning. And I was like, bro, we were crap, man. You know what I mean? And it was just hanging. It was the fan base was arguing with each other and that. Whereas now everyone seems chill. Everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Cherky's balling out. Great stuff, man. I like it.
Yeah. Sit your back. Hello.
Yeah. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat, man. I'm just here to continue me bugging Nobbins from Twitter about apologising about Big Don agenda. Big Taurus says people are forgetting how shit we were in the first half. I ain't forgot. I spoke about it before. I don't think we were shit. I think we were average.
I think, lackluster is the word I use. City actually created a good amount of chances. The finishing was poor, though, definitely.
Yeah, facts, man, facts. But we, and that's why I said Taurus. Yeah, we do need to start seeing 90-minute performances, bro. Like soon.
Yeah, soon. Of course.
Last 10 minutes, Haaland missed a hat trick. Yeah, I know he did. It was pretty mad, man. I can't lie.
He missed it. Yeah, it was insane. Was there one from Lewis, one from Foden, one from Shirky? It was mad.
I think the guy was just like so desperate to get the hat trick that he was just like
in his own head a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, facts. But we got Villarreal tomorrow, bro. Champions League. I love it when the football's like this, man. I think it's better for the team. I think it's better just keep it going, and you
Rhythm.
can rhythm, and you can just rack up win. How do you balance squad rotation versus, in my opinion, I'd be interested to see what you say. I think this is a must-win game. Do you think it's a must-win game?
Villa or Villarreal?
Villarreal.
Nah, it's not must win because
Really?
definitely not. No chance.
I think it is. I think it's a must-win game.
I don't think you can look at because Villarreal have been very good this year. Were they fourth in La Liga?
Yeah, but if you look at their actual games that they've played, yeah, they got beat 3-1 off of Real Madrid. They played Juventus, drew 2-2. They've not won a game in the last 3 matches, unless they won yesterday. Did they play yesterday?
I don't know if it's reasonable to. So we're only 3 games in. I don't know how you can. I don't think it's fair to label it as a must-win, considering we're only 3 games in. And
Can I explain my reasoning?
Yes.
Because if you draw this game,
right,
yeah, or lose it, I think that just puts I think you just got to you've still got Real Madrid away.
Yeah, but you also have Galatasaray at home. You have Dortmund at home, and you have Leverkusen at home.
But right, this is my thing on that. Yeah, if you can only win 1 out of your first 3 games, including Villarreal and Monaco, how can you get chest and say, "Oh, but don't worry, we'll beat Dortmund, we'll beat Leverkusen, we'll beat Galatasaray, we'll beat." It's like if you can't beat Villarreal and you can't beat Monaco, how can you expect to beat these guys? This is why for me, I think this is a must-win game because I think that Real Madrid game is going to be difficult, man. I think we're unlikely to win that game. Unlikely, not impossible. Which means then you're putting yourself in a position where every other game is a must-win.
Well, I would say the games at home are the 4 I outlined. I think they're must-win games. I'd say they're all must-win games. And if City win all 4 of those, then they will. And even if they lose against Real Madrid, they will have as many points as 8th place had last season, and 8th place is automatic. So I don't think that tomorrow's must-win. Like if we draw, I'm not going to be drastically upset and mardy about it. Whereas if it were the other 4. I'm looking at those and I'm thinking, yeah, well, that is a must-win because you should be beating Galatasaray at home, and you should be beating Dortmund at home, and you should be beating Leverkusen at home. Whereas Villarreal, 3rd in La Liga, away, that's arguably, outside of Real Madrid, that's arguably City's hardest game. So the second hardest game, I don't know if that should be labelled as a must-win. So I'm going to hard disagree.
They're the 3 games without a win now.
Pardon?
Real Betis 2-2, Real Madrid 3-1, Juventus 2-2.
Yeah, I'd love to win, but I don't think I can view that as a must-win because it's only the 3rd game and it's one of the trickiest games City have.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get what you mean. Like it would be lovely to win, of course it would, but I don't think that it's gonna. I don't think it's a disaster if City fail to win tomorrow. I don't think a draw is the most horrendous result, and it's not like something that's going to like derail City's Champions League campaign. I think it's pretty chill to be dropping points away against Villarreal, given the context of our other games to come. If we drop points at home against Galatasaray and all the other home games, then yeah, that's a big concern. I do view those as must-win games.
All right, okay, cool. We got Jackson, who says Pep is the GOAT. He's always adapting, went from possession to chaos football, which is the reason he brought Donnarumma. Also benefits Haaland's play style, says Jackson. Well, Haaland and Donnarumma as well, they're mates in it. So I think Haaland's buzzing that Donnarumma's here, yeah. So that's obviously helped Haaland because he lost Grealish as well.
Yeah, he hasn't adapted to chaos football though. Pep said himself after the Arsenal game, he doesn't want to play like that. So
that was a one-time thing.
Yeah,
and I don't even think it was planned. John Stones said after the game that when he was in England, John Stones said yo, we wasn't even meant to play like that. We just ended up playing like that by accident because I don't know that's a good thing or a bad thing to be honest. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I like having Donnarumma in net, man. Donnarumma's what would you give Donnarumma out of 10 so far this season for City?
Like a high 7 or an 8?
Yeah, can I give him a 7.5? And I was getting cooked.
Why?
Because Pulpy give him a 9.
Okay, well that's
I'm
mad.
sorry to bring this up again, chat, yeah, but I think that's wild. Pulpy give him a 9.
No,
And I was
that's
like,
too much.
what?
9 means that you've been, because 10 is perfect. So 9
Yes.
means you've been like excellence, doesn't it? I'd say that like Haaland's on a 9.
No, I give Haaland a 10.
Oh, that's fair. But no, he's not been, no, because he's made an error. So he can't be that high up.
He's partly to blame for 2 points, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, 9's a
I'm
bit
sorry
too
to
high.
bring it up again, chat. Yeah, I still think it's wild. Yeah, I think the glaze there is mad, and I'm glazing Donnarumma. I really like him, but I thought that was we got to have some fucking standards here. Yeah, we can't just be glazing everybody here, chat. Yeah, we got to hold people accountable. Yeah, I'm Pulpy on a 9. Yeah, that's how mad.
Yeah, I think like mids to high 7s, even getting into an 8 is reasonable. I think that's fine because
what if you go on?
I was just going to say, you can only judge him off what he's brought in to do. So I'm never going to judge Donnarumma for his ball playing because that's not fair. Because that's not what he was brought in to do. So I'm just parking that to one side. I'm not accounting for that because that's not fair.
It is. You know what I've been really impressed with, is his coming out on corners and crosses.
Yes.
Because that was something that was highlighted as a major weakness. I can't remember the guy's name. I don't know if anyone in the chat remembers his name or you, Nobbins. That French Donny, who does like stuff on ESPN, and he was on Sky Sports, and he's a big like. Do you know what it's called? What's it called?
Is it Laurent?
Yeah, Laurent. What's his
Lawrence?
name?
I'm sure it begins with an L.
Yeah,
I know who you mean though. Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Someone will know it in the chat, but he was saying I watch PSG and that all the time. And he was like, on crosses, he's not good. I tell you what, I think on crosses, he's not just been good. I think he's been absolutely exceptional on crosses. The amount of times he's coming out punching the ball and taking the pressure off the defense. Yeah, I think that's class. Now, I mean, I completely disagree, bro. I completely disagree. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if he feels, what's the difference though? What's the difference between a player heading the ball and him punching it? If he's punching the ball, he's punching the ball away. What's the difference between that and a player heading away? The ball's going away from the net. It don't make no difference. For me, I think that he's coming out and his crosses are massive. I think it's taking pressure off the defense big time.
Yeah, no, and I would say he's called Julian Laurent, apparently. Thank you, guys. He wasn't wrong, by the way, to say that, because that's something I outlined in my analysis video based on his career up until that point. He was very suspect on dominating his box. Like the best example is against Dortmund in that semi-final in the Champions League in 2024, and he just like makes an absolute pig's ear of the corner. There's no doubt that has been a big improvement to his game. And now it hasn't been perfect against Arsenal, for example, like he punched backwards a few times, but generally speaking, it's been very, very good. And that's definitely an area that has improved, no doubt. So he was right, and I was right to say that he was very bad at commanding his area for whether it was for Milan or Italy or PSG. But it's so good to hear that that's something that he's been able to, so far anyway, iron out as a bigger flaw of his game. So long may that continue, because that was a fundamental error. A fundamental problem and flaw in his game, which has been ironed out, which is really good to see. Because in my head, that's a really traditional element of goalkeeping. Like you should be good at commanding your box, and he's adding that. So that's fantastic. So long may it continue.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, well, I seen PSG fans when we signed him. I saw PSG fans on their Twitter not wanting him to go. Yeah, when I went on the PSG, when the PSG announced it, on their comment section, and I was clicking translate, all the PSG fans were like, yo, this is a mad one. Thanks for everything. Like, yo, no one, I didn't see no one in there saying, thank God he's gone. Yeah. And I've not seen the Chevalier guy like, but I did see one.
He's struggled this season so far.
I see. Yeah, I did see one clip of him standard save and he just completely messes it up. So, yeah, I think we've done an exceptional bit of business here. Yeah, and obviously it's the positives with Donnarumma as well. It's not just the shot stopping and that. It's the presence that he's giving the back line and the team. You know what I mean? I feel like he's given us a real sort of confidence boost in that area of the pitch because we just didn't really have that last year. So yeah, that's positive. All right, and let's bring it to a close. Big up to Nicholas, who says it's been some time now since we saw the Bozo counter 2. You know, yeah, I know, man. I know. I know. It's listen, after the Ake pass against Everton, mate, I could smell it.
Oh, yeah. Could have been different.
It was on. It was. I was hovering over the button, man. I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? I thought I'll hesitate. I'll delay. Big up Simmons says, can Nobbin speak on Savio, please? I'd rather play the tea lady. Am I being harsh?
Yeah, I like Savio still. We know that the finishing has got to improve. Of course it does, but he's still a very young, relatively inexperienced winger. He's only 21. It's just something that's hopefully going to come with time. If you look at players like Mahrez, Marmoush, they didn't peak with their goal scoring and their overall output until they turned 24. Not saying that we have to wait until Savio's 24, but I'm just providing some context there. We can't expect Mahrez numbers from Savio, I think. I like Savio a lot. He'll be fine.
Will he be fine though?
I think so, yeah. I think there's a fantastic player in there, yeah. That's my prediction.
If he can't learn to shoot, he won't be fine.
No, but I don't see why that can't just be added to his game. He's already got the creativity locked down. Like that's already at 20 years old, he already had that locked down. So that's not a problem. Someone bring up Yamal. The best 16-year-old football has ever seen is not the yardstick to be using.
Yes, it is, Ty. Standards.
That's
standards. Go on, Ty.
Yeah,
Don't let him
it's like how old is Messi and how good is he at 34 years old? We can't. You don't then use that as the yardstick for all 34-year-olds because most players can't do that. Or Lewandowski at 37. If like a striker if a player gets to 37 and they're washed, you don't go, wow, Lewandowski was still balling out at 37. Right, but Lewandowski's a freak. So these are outliers, not the norm.
Standards.
I don't know what that means, man. I've never understood what that means.
I don't know what it means. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him, man. He just needs to learn how to shoot and that.
Of course he does, but he's still getting into those positions, and I'd be more concerned if he weren't getting into those positions, and he is. Like if you look once again, if you look back to those sorts of players who we now think are output demons, like whether it's Vinicius or Rodrigo or Mahrez or Marmoush, they were not that player at 20, 21 years old. That's all I'll say there. These are, and if people bring up players like Leroy Sané or Yamal, again, these are outliers. These aren't necessarily the norm. These are like, freak players. Most players don't do that. Even at the highest level, most players don't do that.
So you're still giving him time, yeah?
He's 21. I'd be mental to not give him time in his debut season when he got more assists in the league than anyone. I'd be
what about Doku?
To give him time.
What are you saying with Doku? Because I didn't think Doku was great. Can't lie.
Sorry, is this generally or just yesterday?
Just like, bro, like everyone was getting onto Doku, yeah, and obviously, rightly so because he was playing great. But I don't think he did well against Brentford when he come off the bench. I don't think he played well against Everton. So it's like, what are we saying about him? Are we saying that like that was just a flash in the pan, or are we saying that he just had a couple of? So we still think that Doku. What I'm asking is that form that Doku is in those 4 games. Do we think that can be? Do you think that can be him every game for a season of a 90%? Or was that just like a bit of a purple patch form? And actually, this is the Doku we've got, because I thought Doku, in those 4 games was exceptional. But then I think since then he's just gone back to being last season Doku.
No, I don't think it's a flash in the pan at all. I think that there has been an elevation to his overall game, and I think that we are now putting him into better positions. Also, that first goal, even though of course like it's a fantastic ball by Foden, O'Reilly, great finish by Holland, but Doku's even involved in that first goal as well by virtue of his positioning is really intelligent. So he starts out wide, he drifts in centrally. That obviously brings over O'Brien, but it also brings over Njai, who was picking him up all game. And Njai had a fantastic game defensively, by the way. Now, all of a sudden, from that first goal, Njai and O'Brien are concerned with Doku, and then they don't actually realize that O'Reilly's running in behind. So that was just like a little slight contribution from Doku, even in that first goal as well. And touching on Savio, I know Savio got the assist, but his decision-making to delay the pass for that second goal is also really intelligent, I think, as well. So I do think they should be getting plaudits, both of our wide players, for those goals, in fairness, as well. To a degree.
Okay. Sweet. Well, we'll wrap it up there, man. Big up to everybody in the building. This show is on every Monday at 11 o'clock, so make sure you join us next week after the big game, man. Next week, you know, it's a big week. It's a big month. Every game's massive at the moment, man. So, yeah, man. But yeah, big up to everybody, mate. Hopefully, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Obviously, City are on tomorrow anyway. So, yeah, watch along tomorrow. And yeah, anything else from you, bro? Well, wait, have you got a review video out? You said you got the review video.
Yeah. The title of the video is How Foden's New Role Unlocked Everton. It's a good video. Go watch it. I go into more detail about how City won the game in the first half relative to the second half. And I talk a lot of good things about Shirky as well.
Make sure you go check it out, chat. Yeah, make sure you go check it out. Yeah, I'll be live later on, man. We'll be live later on in it. So yeah, I'm going on Saeed's channel, man. Cook Roms, Cook George. Who else lost?
Spurs lost.
Yeah, Spurs. That's George. Roms, Liverpool.
Forest lost.
No Forest rep on there.
Ah.
United won, City won, Arsenal won, Chelsea won. I think that might be it, actually. Yeah, all right, and boys, big up to you, man.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah,
It is Diwali today. Shrub Diwali. Big up.
Like, come on, man. Big up to everybody, man. Yeah. Right, enjoy the rest of your day, boys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out, lads.